Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Russell Robinson coming to you live from his home office. We are about to have our first class meeting of the semester. I'm looking forward to meeting all of my students. So we're going to wait here for a little while in our holding pattern, and we shall see who joins us. It'll be a very interesting first meeting. I'm very curious to see who will be here. And if you can't make the Hangout, again, please feel free to know that you can go ahead and watch the Hangout on demand. So we're going to get ourselves about roughly 10, 15 minutes. People will get the URLs, and hopefully they'll start chiming in any moment now.
Do they go to the bank?
Yeah, because my money is mine. Yes, they're going. Yes, they go in the kitchen.
Do they go to the bank?
Yeah, because my money is my business.
The cameras go in the house with us?
What about your bathroom? Yeah, they can. They can go in the bathroom with me.
That's not.
Is your show safe?
What do you mean by safe?
They don't follow you around everywhere.
Well, they shoot us when we're on set, but they don't follow us off the set.
You guys need a dog on your show? Hey, I'm very lovable.
No. On the first 2 days, I couldn't find her dog. Too quite tired. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Russell.
Hi there. Who is that?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Let's see. Hi there. How are you?
Good, and you?
Doing well.
Good.
We're waiting for others to join us. I'm glad you made it.
Awesome. Am I the first one?
You are.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Give me a second. I got to make a quick phone call. Be right back, okay?
Okay.
All right. Next time before you say something like that, let me know. Mom's now. She's not there. I got to do that.
Well, tell her that I didn't want my seat back.
Yeah, but she didn't hear that. Your mom only heard that you didn't have a seatbelt for 2 days. How's that?
She's now letting you.
Not letting me, but your mother's hypervigilant.
And that means that that means that
If he is a mom ain't happy, nobody's happy.
what's for dinner?
There, I'm still teaching.
Oh,
Have a bag of chips, have me over. Bag over.
right.
Anyone else join us?
No, not yet.
Well, let's give ourselves a little bit more time. In the meantime, tell me about your experience so far in the class.
Okay. So, so let me see. Okay. So, when I added this course, well, what I was going to do, I was going to drop this course because I was supposed to walk at graduation this December, but I am going to postpone that to May. So I'm keeping the course.
Good.
Yeah, so I can do all that. Yeah, that's about it. And that's why I haven't been active. And I just responded to the Blackboard that has been up since class has started. Well, since school has started. But I did respond to that last night.
Okay.
But going forward, I will turn in everything on time and all that good stuff.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
Okay. About another minute or so,
Okay.
and then I'll begin. It might be a very short session.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay, who else do we have? Brendan?
Evening.
Evening, how are you?
I'm well for the most part. How are y'all?
Hanging in there.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can get some better light situation going on.
Okay, good deal. I have not eaten anything all day, so I apologize for acting like a savage.
It's all good. I can't put anything down all day, so I got Pepto.
Oh, wow. You have my sympathy.
Yeah.
Brendan, how's your experience been in the class so far?
So far, okay. Just a little, trying to catch up with the technology. The only thing that I was concerned, I sent you a couple of emails. You kind of quelled the concerns because I was trying to figure out when you said that first assignment that was due this past Sunday, and you said it was due the 30th, the student introduction, it was pulled down from the discussion board. I didn't know where, if you still wanted that assignment done, or if that was a graded assignment or not, if that was just a practice for all of us to get used to these Google Hangouts and the YouTube channels.
Pretty much. But the assignment is still up. People have till the 30th. After that, then the assignment will come down.
Okay.
Which is, okay, because I was looking, let me go back to Blackboard. Hold on. Because under discussions, when I click on it, I don't see the assignment that was up there anymore. I copied and pasted into the email I sent you. It was one saying respond to student introduction and respond to public speech fears. That assignment.
That assignment, I actually fixed that. Okay.
I didn't see it anymore because I was trying to figure out what exactly was your expectations for that assignment from us. Was it something that you wanted us to talk about as far as a video submission, or was it something that you wanted for us to handwrite, a little essay about how we felt about the course or how we felt about our introductions, and I should say the fear aspect of public speech?
Right, that's a good question. Okay, so in a nutshell, what I need you guys to do with that, okay, I didn't do it for the other class, but it was done for this class. Okay, so what we need you guys to do there basically is, first, all your posts, they will be on video. So you want your video posts up and running. Hi guys, glad you guys can make it. You look shocked.
Hello.
Hi. That's well. And who's the other gentleman?
I'm Tom.
That's Tom. now. How are you all doing?
I'm
Well,
good.
thanks.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Go. I need everyone to turn their mics down. I think I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, there was some.
There you go. All right, now, the other thing is, oh, you're in the gym.
No, I'm at dance practice and I got your email and I was like, maybe I should log in.
That would be a good idea. Okay, so anyway, I'm finishing up my tips. Welcome to our first game. First, I want everyone to introduce themselves so we know. Then, I want to get your feedback in regards to what you've experienced so far, your concerns. Then I want to go over some of the emails as well as the memos.
All right. So I guess I'll go first. Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel Stubbs. I go by Gabby. As of right now, I don't have any concerns in the class. As long as I turn my work in on time and you guys turn your work in on time, I think we'll all be in good.
I guess I'll go. My name's Chanel Barron. I'm a junior at Central. I don't really have a concern except how can I, what if I already have like a Google Plus account? Am I just supposed to put the URL in the spot on Blackboard?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thomas.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I'm Thomas Hartnett, originally from Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Came down here on National Student Exchange. I'm not too concerned about the course so far. I just had some concerns from some of the course requirements I got sent out. I just wasn't sure about some of the staying active in Blackboard, make sure we were keeping up in the course. I think it's just about participating and making sure you're turning everything in on time. So I think I'll be good on that. And nice to meet you all.
Nice meeting you.
And then Brenda.
All right. My name is Brendan Tate, coming to you from an undisclosed location in Oxford, North Carolina. I was born in Pittsburgh, raised in Durham, North Carolina, moved out to Oxford for family reasons. My wife was out here, so I had to make some moves. I'm considered a sophomore non-traditional student, so I work full-time and taken a couple of classes online. I've started and stopped the college process several times, so hopefully I'll finish this program.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all for joining. I know we'll probably need to have some more people coming, or we'll actually have some folks who will be watching this on demand. I think that's fine. I'm looking forward to having them. The one thing that I want to first of all point out to everyone is that from the beginning, my goal is to make sure that all of you have great experience in class. My goal of how I'm going to go about that, I'm going to make sure that I provide a lot of order. At the same time, I am going to allow some level of flexibility. Part due to the fact because we all have very busy lives, we all have jobs, we have obligations. And I do believe that in some cases we have to allow some flexibility so that people can do what they can to get out of the class, get the best they can out of the class, but at the same time, I want them ultimately to understand that this is a legitimate class. My goal is to make sure that I give you quality instruction, good feedback. In addition to that, I also did something a little different from this summer, and that's actually including a lot of visual elements, a lot of visual aids into the course. So by doing that, I have a lot of video tutorials that I create. I'll probably create more video tutorials over the course of the semester. By the time we get to I'd say the 75% of the course, we'll pretty much know how things operate, how they flow. And as you do that, we won't have as many hangouts. You'll really be working as independently as possible. The other thing that I also share with you is that, and going back to what Thomas mentioned, yes, the main thing here is that we want folks to understand that there is a time commitment to this type of class, particularly with the tech requirements. In the past, some folks really have not used as many platforms in this type of class. I actually am doing that, and there's a reason for a method for the madness. First, this is not just a straight course. What type of course this is, or what we are doing with this class, is we're actually transitioning it from being strictly about making speeches into more so a class where we're learning about various types of communication, modalities of delivering information. And so we will flow back and forth from various chapters in the book. I will provide examples. Also, I encourage you to provide examples too and place them in discussion board posts, in your video posts, and so forth. Because again, I think with as many textual examples as we have out here, that will add to our discussion, will add to our learning experience. Another thing that I want you to also understand is that I want to make sure that all of you get to the point where, or at least get to the point where you have established your own learning communities. And by that, what I want to make sure you take from that is that you can all work together. And I think if you work together, that will help you as far as being able to grasp the material a lot easier. It will help you, and additionally, as far as working together when you actually have those speeches by the end of the semester, certainly by midterm and end of the semester, that you can actually act as your own audience members. I've had some students in the past who really did not read the syllabus, and because they didn't read the syllabus, they really found themselves in a quagmire. So the best advice I can give to you is, one, read the syllabus. Please read the syllabus. Two, read the required text material, because I will expect you to be able to incorporate a lot of the strategies, a lot of the takeaways you get from the chapters. I want to see that in your polished products. One of the things that I have students do, if you've looked at the syllabus already, is I have my students create an About Me page. The About Me page serves two purposes. The first purpose is that it operates as a way of all of us getting to know each other. And by that, it allows us all to learn a little bit more about each other. Second, it also provides a very good exercise as far as rebranding, if you don't already have it, a social media presence. The About Me page allows you to place information out there in the social media sphere, the cybersphere, if you will, so that others out there can take a look at your strengths that you bring to the table, possibly offer you employment, possibly offer partnerships with you. So it's important, and that's why I'm going to be a stickler for professionalism in your About Me pages. In some cases, I've already told some students I need for them to go back, redo their About Me pages. Now, that's another thing that I have to also allude to. As a matter of fact, I will say that now. Time management, or your management, is quintessential to your success in this course. And I say that because oftentimes people have in the past, they have, for lack of a better term, waited until the last minute, or they have underestimated what the parameters of the assignment may be. They may have underestimated their skill set to get the work done. And that's a human trait. I've even done that professionally myself, and I've had to make an immediate recovery from that. So the one thing I would try to do, and I will even do that as we move on in the semester, is to tell you, or at least share with you, the difficulty level of the various multimedia components that you will have. One of the things that you also will do over the course of the semester is you will make a PowerPoint demonstration video of a fitness activity. And in the PowerPoint presentation, I'm expecting you to include video within that presentation. And it has to be you who is actually demonstrating the event or the activity. By the time we get to the mid-semester, I will share with you what the informative speech topic will be. Now, many students, for some reason, and this is why I do it, they've attempted to recycle their own topics from other classes. And I don't want that to be the case. What I do want to see done is I really would like to see people actually go on the research journey. And by that, it means you will look at a common topic, you will identify how you choose to address that topic, and you will include an annotated bibliography. Inside of the annotated bibliography, my expectation is that you provide some statistical information. You will also provide me with some scholarly research or peer-reviewed journal articles. And additionally, I'm expecting you to provide some pop journal articles as well. By the time we get to the persuasive speech really is nothing more than just you taking the informative speech topic that we have and turning that into an argument. So by the time we go through all of the 4 types of speeches, we will have gone over all of the chapters, or at least the relevant chapters that there are within the text. Again, I encourage you, if you've not already done so, please acquire the textbook, because, again, as I said, I am expecting all of you to take the skill sets, the knowledge, skills, and abilities that come from the text, and incorporate that into the body of work that you will produce over the course of this semester. The YouTube channels operate almost as a visual or video portfolio. So by the time you do your first speech, we're going to see some interesting pieces, interesting transformations. My goal is to take you from wherever you are, which is right now as of September, will be in a couple of days, to a completely different speaker by the time we get to November/December. The goal here, too, is I want you to have a different mindset on the communicative process or the communication process. I want you to begin to explore what media as a whole means to you. I want you to explore your communication style, how you like to be addressed, how that operates within your personal and intrapersonal circles. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of study of communication, I guess, as a whole, human communication study, for lack of a better term. Do you all have any questions or comments for me so far?
In regards to waiting to the last minute, going back to the emails I sent you in that syllabus, that first assignment, that was one of the concerns I had.
Yes.
Because it looks like August 30th we have to make sure that we have our About Me, the YouTube, the Google Plus accounts. You want the summary of chapter 1, 2, and 3. That's supposed to be one video, right? A summary of the first 3 chapters? You want a separate video for each chapter?
No. You can incorporate the video into all the chapters into one video.
Okay, got you. And then again, the responding to student introduction and responding to fears, that's the question that was still on the table when everybody else popped up.
Right. Basically, you can go ahead and pick 2 people to respond to. You don't have to respond to everyone, but you can respond to 2 people. You can do that either video or you can do that in a traditional Blackboard manner. Again, one of the things and a reason why I have every one of you responding or using YouTube or the YouTube apparatus or platform as a means of sending information is because, again, that gets you into the practice of speaking. It gets you into the practice of articulating responses back in a cogent way to your colleagues. So that's why I really don't want you to write but so much. You will have your share of writing, trust me. The other thing that you will be doing in this course, too, is understanding the visual message, understanding how to take photographs, why you take photographs a certain way. You'll understand also about the notion of presentation, how to effectively create a PowerPoint presentation that not only gets the attention of your audience, but maintains and holds, and you can direct that attention any way that you want. And what's more exciting about this now, again, as I was on the TV earlier this morning, or this afternoon, don't know if anybody saw it, I was on WRAL talking about my pop culture class. But the one thing is that the idea is that we are now in a new frontier, if you will, as far as communication goes. we are no longer dealing with peer-to-peer communication. We're now dealing with one person and exponential audiences. So one person can talk to 5 people at one time. Those 5 people can talk to an additional 5 people. So we're dealing with the notion of information going viral. And again, that's why it's important that we think about the communication or the communicative process, how that operates, what does it mean. In fact, the first 3 chapters, if I'm not mistaken, actually articulate or talk about the notion of social media and how media has changed, how we have changed as a body, people who communicate. So let's go ahead and open up the discussion in that regard now. Talk to me about your understanding of the communication process. Talk to me about it not just in regards to what the text may have said, because I don't know how many of you have the book right now, but also talk to me or share with me your experiences that you have encountered, and let's make it interesting. Talk to me about it from your age demographic.
I think communication has changed. I mean, even much so since I've been a child. With the introduction of technology and social media, my generation is more apt to communicate it in a non-personal or informal manner rather than one-on-one or in front of a group. So when charged with an in-person communication, even in class, the student will be more apt to be quiet or not communicate their idea. So I think, and nowadays, to communicate effectively, especially like impromptu, you have to kind of have a background on it or be ready to express your ideas where you're not going to be like afraid of what other people think. You just know that, okay, we're all interested in what you think. We just want to hear it, and we want to be able to then express our own views and go from there. That way we can have a conversation instead of just one person talking and nothing else happening, basically. So I think in way, social media has made things a lot less formal. So I think communication process has been lost. But as for the original question on what the communication process is, I think it's just bringing that boundary, and having a original idea, maybe preparing a little bit, getting a topic open, building on that topic, getting some back and forth, and then maybe going on to something else and coming to a conclusion based off of everybody's ideas.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Who else?
Well, I'll say something. I heard recently where they was talking about this generation and technology, saying that the generation now growing up with social media, they're social online, but antisocial in person. And I felt that that was kind of a valid thing to say. But also, when it comes to social media, I feel that when it comes to the communication thing, that people tend to only congregate around those in their in-group a lot more frequently because it's comfortable, especially online. And then they kind of, that moves into the real world as well, where people aren't sharing different ideas enough and getting people that are not in their in-group and sharing ideas and disagreeing in a effective manner.
Ladies, do you agree or disagree with what he said?
I totally agree with everything that both of them said. A lot of kids or younger generations, or my generation as well, have gotten away from like talking face to face. They rather text and email, which I can vouch for. That's me personally. I rather text you or email you because it's impersonal and I can get it to you faster than calling in some cases. But I don't know. It's just also a shy thing, a way I am. I rather text than talk.
Gabrielle? Gabriel, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
but Gabby for short. So I don't know if you guys, I'm gonna try and show you guys. It says we don't have Wi-Fi.
We don't have what?
Wi-Fi.
It says we don't have Wi-Fi. Talk to each other. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, so I was at a restaurant, and I thought that was really neat because nowadays, wherever you go, you will always see someone with their eyes on their phone. And I think it's very important that we bring back formal communication because without it, we're lost most definitely, and you can't express how you really feel over the phone. So, yeah, I totally agree with what everybody said.
Do you think, as a society, we have lost the ability to be, I guess, personal, lost the ability to have that peer-to-peer communication or that level even of intimacy with two or three people to discuss a simple common topic?
There was a bit too much echo. I couldn't hear the question.
I hate to have to go back and answer this. Is a long-winded question I raised. Basically, do you feel that we as a society, that we have lost our ability to be, I guess, personable, that we have lost the ability to have that intimate peer-to-peer or even 1 to 3 or 2 conversation with people? Do you feel that we've lost that ability to even, I guess, the ability to just read a person's body language or the inflection of their voice to understand, I guess, the paralanguage or the hidden language? Because we have all these other social media or all these other media platforms to send information.
I believe well, yes, I do believe that we've become like less personable because when you text or email, no one knows what your intentions is because it may say one thing and they may read it as another.
Mm-hmm.
So I know me personally, when I send certain things, people take it the wrong way, but I may mean it like in the nicest way possible, but the way it's read and the way it's typed may be different. So now when I have to talk to people, I'll be like, when can you meet? So whenever we're discussing, does not get miscommunicated in any way.
Right. Thomas, what would you add?
I would agree. I would agree that it's almost begun to be ingrained in culture today, just from the start, in how early people are exposed to technology that allows you to not formally communicate, and like, I mean, in high school, middle school, there are, kids through class, you're either not being engaging in class, and so you're just texting or talking to each other elsewhere. But there are also the paradigms where there's groups of people who that's all they do. They go out, and they go to, go to a club, or they go to each other's houses, and they socialize within either their group of people, or they get out of their box. Like if they go to, a bar, or even out to, the coffee shop, and you're talking with other people who you wouldn't otherwise socialize with. So I think it's not as prevalent because we have these other types of communication where we can talk to people who are in states away, countries away, but you can also start to develop those skills once you get outside of that box. If you're, as an academic, you are going to these other places, you're on campus a lot, you go to coffee shops to do your work, or even if you just, when you're working at a job, once you have, a job, you need to be able to have that interpersonal communication, and if you don't, then you'll fall behind, and I think you'll probably see, I think people will see that, you lack that. They might either try to make up for it themselves, but I don't think people will be as interested in you as like a colleague if you lack that. So, well, it's not ingrained in you as early as it would have been before. I think it still is a skill that people develop maybe later on in life now.
Okay.
It's not as prevalent, but we have lost it to a sense, but it's still certainly an important skill.
Do you feel as a whole class that we have the ability to get it back, or is it something that's just now affected us forever into ubiquity?
I don't think we'll ever. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get back to the way it used to be, and I miss that intimacy. For example, when it comes to family dinner, a lot of people don't eat at the table and talk about their days anymore. You will know, well, I've noticed that a lot of families will eat separately. They won't talk at all.
Mhm.
There's no intimacy whatsoever. So I don't think we'll ever get back to that. Technology has completely taken over, and it's done for.
Talk to me about this concept we have of one's regular presence, their physical presence, and compare and contrast that with their social presence, their social media presence.
I think that there's a difference definitely between the two. One, it can go either way depending on the person. So I'll start by saying some people present themselves as who they are physically better than they do online because that's more of their persona. They want everybody to think things are going well. Look at where I'm at. Look at the food I'm eating. Look at the smiles on our faces. Look where we're going. It's all the vacations. You know, you don't get some of the things that happen in real life, you know, the downs, the tears, the frowns, the baby pooping on the floor, things of that nature. People don't share. They don't share those moments as often as they do the successes. But also, you might have some people that might be introverted who can't or don't feel like they belong in society, yet they, again, going back to those in groups, they find a group who they can socialize with, and technology is the only way to bridge that relationship because they can be all over the place, especially in, I guess, you know, gaming culture, different science cultures, depending on whatever subgroup or niche you're talking about, people can find somebody that they can start to reveal themselves to. So it depends on the situation. And I would like to add, this is anecdotal, but me and my wife like to make a point now, even though I only have a 1 and 3-year-old, that we're all eating at the dinner table because, like Gabby said, there are families that are doing that. But I would like to think that there's more of us eating all at the dinner table, no tech, no TV, even if it's quiet, that we're all in each other's presence, and we can be okay with silence. And I think that might be another issue we have today is that people can't sit side by side without constantly having to say something.
I agree 100% with everything that you said. I think that you make a very solid point in the notion that families have gotten away, all of you for that matter, we've gotten completely away from the notion of having that time where we sit at the table, we will talk about what happened across, you know, in our world, our various circles that we're in, and we've lost that. And unfortunately, that now plays, I think, into this rather cold environment that we have. For some strange reason, going back to my point that I attempted to make, this whole issue, if you will, about someone's social presence versus their physical presence. Because you clearly see people who are able to have these, and I have to get a light because I don't like how I'm looking right now, but they have this notion, if you will, that's better for now, focus. That's bad. They have this presence, if you will, where for some strange reason they do not, we become antisocial, even though we have all of these social media or communication platforms. In essence, they have worked to make us more antisocial as opposed to bridging. And when you say antisocial, even in your own house. My son and I, it's so funny. You know, we don't sit at the table, partly because I gotta get a new table, but we'll sit at the coffee table and we'll talk about things. But it's a challenge for him because he is like, I want to go play the iPhone. I want to go play Nintendo. I want to go do this. And I'm like, no, dude, we have to have a little silence. We have to have some of that conversation among us so I can find out what's going on with you and vice versa. So I really am enjoying this conversation. One of the things that I want us to work on, excuse me, one of the things I want us to work on certainly is how we present ourselves, I guess, with our social media platforms. Now, you all know that we have the About Me page due. That's actually due on August 30th, and I will give you feedback on that as much as possible. Talk to me about your progress with your pages. How is that coming?
It's pretty well for myself, at least. It reminds me of a briefer LinkedIn page. It's just kind of a quick synopsis of who you are professionally and personally. So I think and then there's also the little other kind of brief like education and job summary below the just initial synopsis, but it's not going too bad, I think. Just once you get the picture, I think it's just a brief description and refining that description a couple times to get it really to a professional level.
Very good. Gabby?
Yeah, I agree with Thomas. So I blog quite often, and so yeah, I was just going to use that, and then I have an educational philosophy that I was going to share with you guys, because after I graduate, I plan on teaching kindergarten, so I was going to add that in my About Me too.
Very good. Very good. I like that. Brendan, how do you say? How's yours going?
I'm planning it. It's in my head what I want to do. Initially, when I read the syllabus, I was concerned because I didn't think we were going to have to add another piece of social media because I don't have much of a social media presence. And I work for the city of Durham as a police officer, and I didn't know. I'm always weary of revealing that information just because of where we're at, politically in society, with how people view law enforcement.
Well, first, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Your service as a first responder. Thank you for that.
No problem. They pay me for it, so thank you. I appreciate the appreciation. But yeah, that's always a concern of mine that people are going to automatically start throwing stereotypes my way and things of that nature. But also with the department itself, weary of its officers having a social media presence. We have a policy that I wouldn't violate by joining one, but I know they are extra cautious, and when we have one, I'm under the impression that if something happened, they'll definitely be checking to see what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Clearly. So with that, I think that opens the door for an excellent conversation. Tell me about how. Tell me about, I guess, when you say I didn't know you were an officer with the PD. The question I would have with that is now, how do you all deal with image and presentation, especially now in this climate with police and how people are very suspicious of law enforcement these days?
I think we could deal with it better, and I think we're getting to that point. I'm no longer on patrol. I work in the recruiting division as a background investigator, and I'm finding that we do need more of a presence on social media because I see larger agencies like Charlotte, Greensboro, NYPD, other larger agencies having a Facebook page, Twitter page, things of that nature, recruiting via social media. And I don't know necessarily what their numbers are if they're pulling that many people, but I know it's a struggle here in Durham. Several reasons, and I think one of my theories is because we don't have that social media presence where we can kind of soften the image of the hardcore law enforcement. I don't know if we're able to recruit well enough the people that we're looking for, and there's a lot of factors that go into play with that, but I think social media is one. Also, given the atmosphere, it is just my opinion, if anybody else is listening.
It's your opinion. We got it.
That, again, the Durham PD can do a better job of advertising the positive effects we do have on the community. Are we wrong sometimes? Absolutely. And I would like for us to fess up to those wrongs a bit more quickly, although I understand the need for an investigation. But also when the public is confused about why law enforcement acts the way it acts, or why some policies are the way they are, that we could communicate that better and not have it as some hidden agenda, or the community having a point of ignorance, not understanding the perspective of a law enforcement officer, because the courts recognize that my experience is different from the average citizens. And I wish that we had some way, or we got a public relations representative now who I think is going to start changing some things, but that communication with the public as a whole, showing that, hey, there are people behind these badges, and we have a purpose, and we are trying to address the issues that we have. And I think for the most part, we, as the Durham Police Department, have acknowledged them, but we can do a lot better, especially with educating the public.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I think this is the first time I've ever had law enforcement in any of my classes. So it's going to be a very interesting experience, I think, part due on multiple reasons. One, I think it gives us an opportunity, if you allow us, just because I had no idea, and your personal or how you present yourself was like, wow, he's a regular student. But I think as you brought that out, I think what we also can now take from that certainly are some issues with nonverbal communication, outfits or a wardrobe that people wear. That's one of the things that we talk about in my classes face-to-face. We talk about the idea of what does a college professor look like? How are they supposed to behave? And oftentimes I get people telling me, Dr. Robinson, whatever the college professor is supposed to behave or act like, you're not it. And I'm like, okay, so what the hell does that mean? and then they tell me that, well, first of all, you actually are engaged with the students. You actually appear to be vested in our success. You come to class in blue jeans. You'll come to class and do handstands in class and still teach and know what you're talking about. Or you come to class and you teach barefooted, which is what I do. Don't judge me. But the main thing is that, again, we all have these biases that we bring to the table. We have our own experiences, as you pointed out, that we bring to the table. And that actually has an impact on the listening process as well. And I think what we have to begin to explore not only is the issue or the topic of how to present, but also effective listening. And how do we listen, and how can we listen not just with our ears, but also listen cerebrally as well. And that's one of the things that I want us to really talk about, too, throughout the entire course of this semester. Do you all have any additional questions for me, or what to expect, or what we're going to do?
I know I'm bugging you, but that respond to student introductions and those fears, those are going to be back up there?
They're already up there. Take a look.
All right, let me look.
See them?
Yes, sir, I see them.
I told you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No sweat. All right. Anyone else got any other questions? Okay. I take your silence as no, we have no other questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end it now, because I got to go ahead and play dad. But I also want to rest everyone assured that I really want... You just joined the call, Shay. I so hated for you that you're here. I'm glad you made it. You late. But
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you can go ahead and watch it on demand in a little while, but thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, but are they still there? They left. Yeah. So anyway, if you have any questions, again, my telephone number, of course, is 919-530-7108. The email account is the same, wrobin15@nccu.edu. And I'm looking forward to looking at your About Me pages. And one of the things you want to go ahead and get prepared for, I believe in the submit, revise, and resubmit process. And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure that if I see anything that's out there, I want to give you an opportunity to make it better. If you did it right the first time, hey, that's great. Maybe you can also help other folks to get theirs in line. So I don't want anyone to take any critiques I offer personally. I don't know you. You don't know me. And the one thing I tell my students this face-to-face, I'll say it here as well, is that my goal is to make sure, first, a grade is not worth anybody losing their cool about. A grade is not, in fact, I don't even like grades. Grades to me are nothing more than performance indicators. As far as I'm concerned, everyone here already knows how to speak. It's just really now a matter of taking these things that we already have and really focusing them. But for me, I'm not one that believes a lot in grades. I think grades are just a way of people saying, I got my trophy, I got my trophy. No, I want to make sure that you get an A in my class, you really got an A in the class. Better yet, I just want you to walk away with a good experience. That's the main thing. All right, folks, I've enjoyed it. I hope that we have a good semester. I know we're going to have a great semester. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.